What is going on, you black and white motherfuckers? So let's talk about this card, let's talk about this card, the last crescendo, the last Martin Bakole, the last bloody turkey sandwich, the last jollof rice, This is the card of the century. That is what they kept saying. And to be fair, it was a good card. Was it the card of the century? Well, some of the fights were fucking letdowns. But besides that, it was quite an entertaining card. So I'm not going to be a hater, So starting off Callum Smith and Boatsi. That black brother Boatsi, this was a good fight. Sometimes you don't overanalyze shit. You don't think too much about it. This was just a straight up good fight. Callum Smith has always been underrated. Him hit hard, man. He's a hard puncher. Remember that time him hit that brother and his black brother doing a moonwalk on the floor, his legs shaking. Never forget that, man. And the Rocky Fielding fight, I know Rocky Fielding, most of you probably don't remember who Rocky Fielding is, and of course against George Groves, Callum Smith is a good fighter, and because he's understated, because he, doesn't go around, yapping and people kind of forget and disrespect him. Same with Boatsi. Boatsi is a good fighter, but all that inactivity, I've always been concerned about. Callum had inactivity as well, but I've always been concerned about that inactivity from Boatsi, him fighting like once every 100 years, brother. Why ain't you fighting more, man? You're meant to love this sport, just too much delay, man. It was a good fight, and Boatsi did show skills in places, just the same as Callum Smith did. They're both landing. One thing we noticed the most, that Boatsi showing a chin, a really good chin. Him taking some lickings, man. Taking some hard shots. Good clean shots. But that 6th round from both of them, oh my god, this was a fight. This was probably the fight of the night, right? Or maybe Bivol better BF. But it was a beautiful fight between two fighters. I'm not overthinking it. We're not gonna be like, oh, he should have done this, he should have done that. It was just two good fighters. And at the end of the day, unless it's a draw, one of those have got to win. It's as simple as that. I think if these two fought again, maybe Boatsi would win. This was a good fight. This is the type of thing we like in boxing. And this was like the first fight. I enjoyed this fight. That's for what happens with Boatsi next. Him still have options. Was he ever really as good as we thought? He had the reputation. He had the background. Yes, he is good. But even in his fights, even in a lot of his fights, they were close, and him going like the distance with Dan Aziz, and like messy fights against European fighters who him should have blasted out in 2 rounds and getting caught. Never think Boatsi was, it was good. He's a really good, strong fighter, aggressive, but we don't think he had that star power that people kept going on about. But me not taking nothing away from Callum Smith. Smith deserve respect. Big up to Callum Smith, Victor Ortiz versus Madrimov, Madrimov starts off dancing and moving around the ring, doing the 1-2 step, just backing up. And when you're backing up like that, when you got a fighter like Ortiz who thrives off of that front foot type of pressure, this is just making things even harder for him. So Ortiz just applying that pressure, hurting Madrimov, wearing him down. I'm not that impressed with Madrimov. He looked good against Crawford. Apparently Madrimov had a cold. He didn't take his Lemsip. He didn't take his Orlex, his Carvonia, but it does not matter to me when they fucking fight, no excuses. So Ortiz done his thing. Big up to Ortiz.
Zing Zang Zilly Zang versus Cabbage Ijaboil. No, I'm sorry, Ajit Kabayel, This is a big bang Zang. We think it's over for Zang, man. The whole hype trade is over. Big motherfucking Zang, Kabayel working the body, and I can't remember what round it is, but it gets dropped a couple of rounds in from Zhang. Zhang likes to get up close and let those hooks go, But once you go past 2 or 3 rounds, once you get past, a couple of rounds, the second or the third round, Zhang loses his energy. He's one of the best 3-round heavyweights there is, but he just tires so quickly. And then Caballero decided to change tactics, start working the body on that big Chinese brother, man. Banging away on that body, and yeah, them things hurt, man. I mean, watching him. Caballero's a good fighter, man. He's quite a compact fighter and fight within himself. But, he's done it, and maybe the Zhang hype will start to end, Zhang's a good fighter. He's fun to watch. You know what you get, but him look old, my girl walked in the room. She said, look at that old man. He was an old man in the ring, He was an old. I said, you were the old man as well. Me in my 50s, man. She's in her 30s, and you know what I'm saying. Me saying you were the old. Don't diss the old men, But still, yeah, I think it's over. Caballero, he's got options, man. He's a good fighter. Still not sure how good he really is or how poor Zhang is. That's not taking nothing away from Caballero, but regardless, Zhang, hopefully the hype is over. Zhang's always going to be in fights. You can always reel him out. But, everybody, there seems to be a game plan for Zhang now. And that's just get the brother tired, So, I don't know, man. But good body shots, good fight. I enjoyed that motherfucking fight. Shiraz versus Adames, Stupid Adi Agabeo from the zone, that stupid brother, man. Him said it was a close fight. He said it was a close fight. This was not a close fight, man. Shiraz started off patient, composed, losing that long stick, popping away. But then Shiraz, I noticed, after round 4 or 5, he seems to have froze. There's other options he can do. He's letting the straight shots go. Adames is ducking, moving, dipping. He's finding range using different options. But all Shiraz is doing is that straight punches, backing up straight punches. Me thinking, cool, okay, you are setting up the fight. You're setting up the bomber clap punches, man. But now you got to switch that thing up, brother. Switch it up. And it was quite strange. It just seemed to freeze, It seemed to freeze. And then Adames starts slashing to the body, dipping and slipping Shiraz's shots. And Adames, most importantly, is constantly applying the bomber ass pressure, I think myself, Frank and Turkey Alice Sheiks was screaming, throw the uppercut, you bomber clot! Throw the bomber clot uppercut! And he just wasn't throwing it. I don't know. He seemed to freeze. I don't know if he was scared to unload with punches or leave himself exposed by changing the rigid technique of those straight punches. I don't know if he was scared to get hit. I'm not too sure, but there was something strange about Shiraz in this fight. Maybe Adames hit so hard, Shiraz just respected him a little bit too much. Adames is stocky and physically sort of thick, no homo, from big uppercuts and knocking Shiraz's head back. Even Shiraz's corner were you're going to need a knockout. I mean, a draw. I didn't score the fight, but I had Adames winning. And even when they were reading out these scorecards, if you ever look at Shiraz's face, when one judge gave it to Shiraz, he done the face oh, I wasn't expecting that, Even Shiraz thought he lost that fight, if he's being honest. You could see it. Go back and watch when the scores are read out. When one judge gives it to Shiraz, he does the face. And I like Shiraz. Maybe I should watch it again and actually bring out the scorecard, because I hate when people talk about a fight and they're not even scoring it. They're just going on how they feel overall. You can't judge a fight like that. You got to judge it round by round. You understand me? Brother? But I will, if I get time in between pimping, I will definitely rewatch the fight and score it. But okay. Even Hamza done it. Some brothers are walking past. Yeah, man. Yeah, me in my car recording. That's how professional me is. Stevenson versus Josh Padley. Josh Padley is 15-0 with 4 KOs. This was embarrassing from Stevenson, man. I got to be honest. No. Let me retract that, because at the end of the day, Padley did, what is the word I'm looking for? He did show bollocks. The first round, Padley's he's swinging, and he's actually quite effective with a couple of the shots, He's leading in forward. It's got this lunging type of style. And you can see that Padley is a good fighter. By the second round, Stevenson Stevenson he's starting to pick up the pace, landing fast left hand and right hands and free hit straight combinations. I think Stevenson's precise, clean and sharp punching is good, but Padley's taken it all so far, and then a brutal body shot and sickening combos in the 5th round, and finally Steven starts to really put the pressure on. Drop him, Padley, and then he's losing each round. But he's still throwing his shots. But yeah, I mean, the man Paddy is coming after a few days' notice. You know what I mean? Stevenson should have got him out 4 or 5 rounds earlier. Then they shouldn't have took him body shots in the 9th round to end the fight. It shouldn't have took him that. I don't think. This man had no preparation, no training for the fight, and him come in. And Stevenson, Shakur Stevenson is taking, why is this fight going on this long, if he's supposed to be as great? The simple fact is, Stevenson is a good boxer, he boxes well, he's very sharp, very quick, but he's just not as good as everybody says. That's all there is to it. He's very good, but not quite as good as the hype that's being built around. He doesn't quite have that power. Technically excellent, but he doesn't quite have that power, Otherwise, let's be honest, it would have taken out a man who's come off of 4 days notice. That's just a fact of it. It would have taken that man out to come off of 4 days notice, unless that man happened to be a super talent, and Padley's just a good, strong Yorkshire man type of fighter, So I don't know, man. I was quite disappointed in Stevenson, if I'm being honest. I think Padley come out the better in that fight, just for having Bolax, big motherfucking Bolax. Joseph Parker versus Martin Bakole, 310-pound Bakole. Parker shocked me by how big. I was shocked by how big that motherfucker looked in that ring. He's a big motherfucker in that ring, Parker definitely put on an additional 40, 50 pounds, But yeah, I think Bakole is massive and lumbering and like coming forward and really, really seriously overweight, We get the feeling that Billy Nelson just sold out Bakole. I think Billy Nelson saw the paycheck and thought, fuck it, and throw my fighter in there. I don't know, man. There's a bad taste in my mouth about this fight. My video is still up where I called Daniel Dubois a duck and everybody cried in the comment section like little snowflake bitches. And in that video I said I don't think Bakole is all that people make him out to be. I really don't think he is. And yes, Bakole did come at the last minute. He hadn't trained, but I still think Parker would have won. Later maybe, I still think he would have won. Anyway, the 2nd round, Parker loops a big right hand. Those right hands that Parker loops over the top of the bomber. I said, kind of like in that direction that Marcos Maidana type of weird direction over the top of the man's head. That's the same thing he done to Deontay Chicken Legs Wilder, when he chucking them those looping shots or big wide arcing shots. I knew that was going to be the shot. And then 2nd round, that takes out Bakole's legs and he's down, man. He's down. And that ain't really nothing to do with conditioning, really. He just got hit with a good shot, He didn't have a chance to get tired, Bakole. He just got hit with a good shot. I mean, of course, he's not quite as sharp from that sparring, I guess, but I don't know, man. I'm not disappointed in Bakole, man. And at the end, Bakole is smiling and cheesing like everything's all good. Come on, man. He's just happy at the payday. Okay. Do you know what? To be fair to the brother, I would be smiling as well with that fucking payday that I would have just got. He probably got a stupid fucking payday for it. So that's why he's smiling and cheesing. And then the real serious fighters come on. Butterbeer versus Bivol 2. Good fight. It seems like it's fought at a higher intensity already, this fight. Good hard pressure from Beterbiev. We know how Beterbiev works. Comes on the front foot, tries to find different angles. Round 6, Beterbiev just seems to be less tidy as the fight is going on. Bivol's posture and punches are so clean and precise. This Russian motherfucker is just like so clean and tidy with his boxing. It's a back and forth fight at the halfway point. The Bivol's landing on straight punches, and then after that, Bivol starts to take over. Beterbeer's variation and body shots, the straight Beterbeer's variation body shots and the straights, the timing, They're good, but it just seems that Bivol's seizing his moment. Better be kind of waits until Bivol comes in, lets his straight flurries off, and then parries straight off of that as soon as Bivol finishes. He does that every time you see him. It's like, if he give him something, I can't let him get away with it. And he was successful with that for that first part of the fight. Then in the second part of the fight, Russian Bivol just done his thing, round 9. Bivol's class is just taking things out, and then the last few rounds, Bivol's just showing too much class. Better be walking into the pistons, you know what I mean? That Bivol is throwing. Last round is incredible. This was a much better fight than the first one, and Turkey Al Sheiks is gonna do that rematch. This was a good card overall. My biggest disappointment is Bakole and Shakur Stevenson. I thought I thought they were poor, if I'm being 100% honest. I'm most impressed with Callum Smith and Bivol from the card. It was a good motherfucking card, Okay, there you go. You get your own little mini Akachi podcast, That is it. I'm out to this mother. It's Akachi. Damn. The baddest YouTube boxing community, man,